Hey everyone, I'm Alex Williams and you're watching Funagain's weekly update for Friday, July 22nd. Today we've got brand new pre-orders, new games in stock, and of course a brand new game of the week, so let's check it out. Alright everyone, let's start out with some hot new previews, including games from Funagain Games, Spielworxx, and popular miniatures game, Infinity. Our friends over at Spielworxx Games has come out with two new games, North American Railways and Solarius Mission. In North American Railways, 3 to 5 players build railroads in the United States. They become directors of up to 5 different companies and try to acquire a majority of the shares. In the end, the player with the most cash wins. Solarius Mission is a tactical and strategic civilization game in a pulp science fiction setting, with a dice draft, dice manipulation, and resource management mechanism. Players start into space with their own spaceship and try to build the biggest space station and colonize the most valuable planets. New from Funagain Games, we've got Salvation Road and Saloon Tycoon. Salvation Road is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players, where players are assigned 2 characters and must balance their strengths and weaknesses while collecting resources in a post-apocalyptic wasteland with marauders on their tail. In Saloon Tycoon, 2 to 4 players are saloon owners in an Old West gold rush town. They've purchased lots on the 4 corners of the main crossroads and need to expand their small establishment into thriving businesses. Their goal to create massive centers for commerce and entertainment in the wilds of the West. The player with the most reputation points at the end of the game wins. And finally, 2 new Infinity pre-orders from Corvus Belli, including Infinity Operation Ice Storm and Infinity Ariadna US Ariadna Army Pack. Operation Ice Storm introduces 3rd edition rules and is a perfect starter set for players wanting to get into the Infinity game. Operation Ice Storm is a 2-player starter kit which contains a booklet on how to play the game. The box contains a game mat and a selection of scenery. Their inclusion in this box set means players instantly have everything they need to get their table ready for playing Infinity. Ariadna US is the perfect introduction into Infinity 3rd Edition. The US Ariadna comes complete with a full-color rule book containing quick start rules, a completely US Ariadna Ranger 4 sectional army list, 2 ITS army lists, and 3 ready-to-play scenarios, plus a US Ariadna starter pack featuring Devil Dog's team box, cardboard scenery, a game mat, and 3 Ariadnan 20-sided dice, as well as cardboard markers, templates, and a measurement ruler. Alright, so now let's get into some games that we just got in stock, including Salem, Mr. Jack, and Geometry Strategy. In Geometry Strategy, the first player to place their sphere on the bullseye is the winner. You have 1, 2, or 3 opponents with their sets of pieces trying to stop you and take you out of the game. Your sphere has no defense, and at the center of the board there's a red zone where everything changes. Geometry Strategy is a strategic and tactic board game where even the element of luck is tactics. In the revised edition of Mr. Jack, 2 players go head-to-head. 1 player must help the investigators. By moving each character into the light or shadow, the detective player makes successive deductions to uncover which investigator is in fact Jack, and then they must try to catch the infamous Ripper. The opponent, playing Jack, must do his best to delay the investigation. He can even try to use the darkness to secretly flee the district. Salem is an innovative strategy game based around the witch hunts of 1692. In it, the game plays over the course of 4 rounds representing the 4 months in which the hysteria was at its height. Players send citizens to jail, try to provide alibis for their own citizens, and in the end send citizens to trial. The player who is most successful at discerning witches from villagers wins. Alright, now before we get to our game of the week, let's go through our list of top selling games. Top 5 selling games this week starts with the Solarius Mission pre-order at number 5, Emotep at number 4, which is unfortunately out of stock, Tuscany Essential Edition at number 3, The Castles of Burgundy the card game at number 2, and our top game is Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon is a simple, ultra-fast, very silly card game. There's no turns, players just call out the actions on the cards as fast as they can. When 2 players have a match, they celebrate by performing the action. Each time a player celebrates a match, they quickly discard a card. The first person to get rid of all their cards wins. Make sure to head over to Funagain.com and find out just why this silly little card game is so popular. Alright ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the update, which means it's time for the brand new game of the week. The World's Fair of 1893 in Chicago was a spectacular international exposition that showcased many great achievements in science, technology, culture, and entertainment. Acting as an organizer of the fair, send out your supporters to gain favor with influential people and secure the grand exhibits that will be put on display. The organizer who has earned the best reputation by the time the fair begins will emerge the victor. World's Fair 1893 is played over 3 rounds, each ending with a scoring phase. On each turn, a player sends a supporter to an area of the fair, plays any influential figures that they have, collects any cards that are there, adds new cards to the game, and then scores. In the scoring phases, players gain points if they have the most supporters in an area, and if they have collected exhibit cards that match those areas where they lead. The player who has earned the most points by the end of the 3rd round is declared the winner. This week only, make sure you head over to Funagain.com and get your copy of World's Fair 1893 for 35% off. Alright everyone, that is it for this weekly update. Make sure you join us next Friday for the next weekly update, which will include more pre-orders, more new games, and of course, a brand new game of the week. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments about any of the games on today's weekly update or about Funagain Games, please leave them in the comments section below and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss a single weekly update.